Howdy everyone, welcome back to another truly outrageous Pony Players podcast showcase. I'm of course Funky Phil, and joining me this evening we have Split Second,
Hello.
Summer Free,
Hi there.
Kajak,
Hello.
and Torrent Tales.
Greetings.
Now we've got a few things to discuss tonight, and we're going to do this in a rather efficient manner if we can, because it's been a long day and we've got a long night ahead of us. So just before we get into it, I need to shout out a special thanks to our supporters. First of all, Banter Toys and Collectables.
Yes, thank you.
They supply us with most of our card needs, in particular with the theme decks and the booster packs for our games, as well as accessories and whatnot. And also to Ozgameshop.com. So they also supply extra additional little bits and pieces for our card accessories. Both of the links will be in the description for their websites, Facebook pages, and Twitters. Right, now that that's all out of the way, we can actually get into the discussion.
Let's do it.
We've got two quick questions tonight. So we'll tackle them one at a time. The first is relating to the pre-release, and the second one is relating to competitive deck structure. So, for those of you who aren't aware, being in other states, other countries, wherever you may be, the Australian pre-releases were all held either today or last night, I believe, with a couple of odd outliners tomorrow during the day. We, as in Card Shark and Torrent Tales and myself, managed to get to two today. And by the sounds of it, the lads over the border managed to get to one and missed out on one.
Oh, so no, it's coming. It's going to come. Hopefully, it'll come. It'll happen.
It seems like a surprise when you have another pre-release.
So today was our first chance to actually have a look at the Absolute Discord cards for ourselves, rather than looking at the spoilers and the cards that have been posted online. So generally,
touch the screen.
What are your thoughts? How do you think the pre-releases were handled? Do you think 12 positions were enough for kids? And what do you think of the promos and playmats, opposed to the Crystal Games, Candlelight Nights and Premiere? And what do you think your playgroups actually thought? So I'm going to start with you, Split Second, if you want to take this one off.
Okay.
First of all, how was your pre-releases?
Not pre-release, because you guys got two, we got one. Our pre-release was actually fun and actually rather efficient for once.
That's good.
We finished quite early. We decided that what we'd do is we'd have timed rounds of about 40-45 minutes, which really helped speed the games along, especially since some games started dragging on, really dragging on. One interesting thing was the chaos rulings that we got to deal with, which was fun because never before in a pre-release have we had that sort of, I suppose you could say, fun interaction. It's always been...
Clarifying there, are you talking about the other chaos rules that were on the supplied card, or the actual chaos on the cards themselves?
Yeah, when we got each of our packs and got given a random main character for drafting, we also got given an extra card. On this card were a set of rules, which obviously we could choose to follow or not. And we chose to follow them. And basically it was either at the start of the round or during the round, you would roll a die, and depending on what number comes up, a new rule would be in place. So one where you play with the top card of your deck revealed, or another one where you gain an AT at the end of the turn. And it's really nice to see that there's these fun little quirks that keep things interesting rather than just a simple make a deck from the packs and away you go. Because I know, because I play Magic, and in the pre-releases it's always interesting to have a little bit of flavour in each of the pre-releases that sets them apart from other ones. Otherwise you're just doing the same thing over and over again and again, and it gets really tedious.
Yeah,
I'll say that,
fair enough.
So just to clarify on that, so you rocked up to the pre-release today. Each of you got your 6 booster packs to construct your deck with.
Correct.
Were they sealed at that point, or did you actually draft at that point?
Well, at that point, we actually after we got our packs, we just started drafting. So, sorry, it was sealed draft. It was sealed draft. So we got our packs.
Yep.
And we opened them, and then we built a deck from that, rather than a regular draft where we pass it around.
Right. Okay. So it was basically a sealed constructed still. So the 6 packs that you got, you made your 30-card deck out of that.
Indeed.
Right. And on top of that, they gave you extra chaos rules that you could abide by or choose not to abide by.
Yes, and we chose to abide by them because we're all, well, masochists.
So I'm guessing you, Summerfree, went along to that one as well. Is that correct?
Yes, me and Sliss were at the same tournament.
Yep. So just tell me more from your point of view, your experience. How do you think it went?
Pretty well. That's if we actually remembered the rules were in play half the time. Since our tournament was mostly well, I wouldn't say veterans, but people that are regulars for our tournaments, we felt comfortable just going through these extra rules, but we completely forgot about them sometimes. Not just the chaos, other chaos rules. Chaos in general from card effects. Everyone, I forgot to use it. Oh crap! There's a chaos there. Sorry, that's +2 power to my Discord. Yeah, sorry, I win the face off. Not you. Yeah. But not only me, other people have actually suffered for that. They missed it. Like, okay, let's flip the second card because it's tied. And me being I was, finished my game. I was judging at that point, going, so before you flip the other card, you have a chaos effect. Please use it.
Right. So you were basically the hand of judgment at that point. Ensuring that people retain to the rules.
No, he actually forgot the most.
I'd like to keep... Okay,
That sounds about right.
Okay, I generally like to make sure game state, stays.
As best as it can?
I usually dismiss my... I tend to screw up most, as you can see from my both regionals and nationals footage, that I have made 1 or 2 screw-ups.
Right.
I have to bring that up again.
Well, that could be attributed to stress, though.
That's true. That is true.
Let's go with that
It's
explanation.
pretty relaxed and just chill.
Fatigue and stress does get to you at the end of it, especially the end of 2 long days, but...
Oh, yeah.
For today, there's no excuse. It's just...
Yeah.
Summerfree being sick, that's what I'm hearing.
Summerfree screwed up.
No, I actually did not hit any chaos in my flips at all today.
Oh, so did I.
Oh, that's unlucky.
That is rather unfortunate. So
I
the big
drew
question we've
all the
got,
cards at chaos.
the one that's all on everyone's mind at this point. Did you win? Did you retain your title as
Yes.
national champion?
I
Are you
came
walking away
second.
with a belt?
I came
You
second last.
Second.
Oh.
Wow.
How the mighty have fallen.
I got a t-shirt out of it, so yeah.
Yeah, lucky.
Well, that's not too bad then.
That's
Gonna be
alright.
in it for a biscuit, as they say.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And just on that, where did you end up today? Just out of curiosity, split second.
I came second.
Yeah.
Well done.
So did
Yes,
you manage to walk away with the Turek promo?
Yes, I walked away with the Tyrek promo. I'm rather happy with
No
that.
playmat, though.
That's all right.
No. It came down to the wire. It was actually a pretty good match.
That's good.
I mean, I was losing for about a third of the game, and then all of a sudden, just a couple of cards that came up right and blew up my opponent's field completely.
So I'm guessing the
'Cause,
big problem flip for you.
Yeah, it did, and considering that I had 1 2 power friend, and the rest were all 3 power, and
So you're
my
pretty
opponent.
safe.
Well, it was funny because my opponent, all his friends were 2 power.
Oh no.
So
Yeah,
that
lucky for you, Slits. I was running back in my deck, and it actually ended up killing me.
You took the gamble and it didn't pay off. No biscuit for you.
and then I built up my field, and then my opponent put theirs.
Oh, I'm dying.
I guess you could say that was all pretty chaotic.
Oh, Oh, poor Summer Free couldn't catch a break.
They know.
So as I mentioned earlier, we managed to actually get to 2 pre-releases. Both at local gaming shops, which is good. So Torrent Tales, what did you think of the day? How do you think it went?
Yeah, it went pretty well. I mean, our
Besides fatigue at the end, we're all getting tired at that point.
all right, yeah, I thought our pre-release went pretty well. Obviously didn't go as fast as it did with you guys because I think just about every round we had went to time. But overall, it was pretty cool. I came first in the second one and fifth in the first one. But I got my playmat. They finally had a playmat this pre-release.
Yay!
Unlike last time. Yay! But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. A lot of fun was had by all. We didn't do the chaos rules like you did. Kind of wish we did, actually. That sounded like fun.
It sounds so much more fun than what we did. I have to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's it. But that's all right. Next time. But yeah, it was still pretty cool, and it was very chaotic. Incredibly chaotic. It's just cards going everywhere, left, right, and center. No one knew what was going on, but we came out of it alive.
Yeah, it was
I
almost
remember seeing
surreal.
cards going flying through the place.
Yeah, that was amazing. A lot of the cards are brilliant. I mean, I'm really loving this new set. It's very interesting, and it was very fun to draft with it, basically.
Well,
Yeah, I must say, this
just
is
on
a-
that note, yeah, I have to say that a lot of the commons and uncommons in this set in particular, even though at face value they may not look that great, for a sealed tournament they're at least enjoyable and fun. And I think the
Yeah.
biggest difference between this one and the Crystal Games pre-release in particular is the level of deck that we're able to construct, although it was still a bit of a shambles. It's only 6 packets to make a 30-card deck. Each one of them was a lot of fun to play and a lot of fun to construct. And I know that I got a bit colour stomped at the end, as so did Card Shark every now and again. And as we did we all at some point. But even just the little the resource colour fixes that turn into a friend, I thought even that was just an interesting little tweak. And having that in there meant that the decks are a lot more enjoyable and a lot more playable, in particular, compared to the Crystal Games ones.
Yeah. It would have been nice if they had those resources had a little bit of some use beyond just being a friend, because once you've got another friend out there, they can't do anything.
Yeah,
But
well, a friend
other
of
than
that
that,
colour.
yeah, it was all pretty good. I think I got lucky with the second pre-release because I managed to get a lot of my entry for all the colours I played, so I had no problem getting any of that.
Yeah. And that comes down to luck of the cards. But I think for the
that's
most part, it was still, fun.
I didn't put any ultra rares though.
Oh,
Sad about
Neither
that
did
one.
I.
No, that was really bizarre. That's one thing I do have to.
Yeah.
I'll touch on, is that of the 2 pre-releases, we pulled 8 in the first one in total, and we got 3 in the second one, I believe.
Yeah.
Which, when you're
I didn't
looking
even think it
at,
was 8 in the first one.
yeah, it was 8,
Okay.
How many
Yeah.
people actually was in the first tournament though?
12.
We had 12.
So that's the
But
full
I think-
84
yeah.
boosters being opened, which is, a par for the course, I guess. But for the second one, because of external factors and things like that, I gave out extra boosters for people to open. We ended up going through 101 boosters for 11 people, and we only
Wow.
got 3 ultra rares in total.
wow.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you have a look on the forum, and people are saying the same things, like on the Facebook group. People are saying similar things as well. There seems to be a much lower ratio. I don't know if that's the general rule with this one, but that's what it seems like.
Well, we got a decent amount of viewers in ours.
people.
I mean, it seems up and down.
No,
Well,
we had 3, didn't we?
We had the Cryptolis, we had a Applejack, and I can't remember if there was a third one.
Yeah, mine. Laughter, element of laughter.
Oh, you pulled that?
Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
understand is that Enterplay actually changed up how the cards were redistributed to make them more random and things like that. So that I guess has something to do with it.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people on the Facebook complaining about getting only 1 or 2 URs in a box.
Yeah, which is really bizarre.
And that person who managed to pull none in a box.
Oh, that poor person.
Oh god, I would hate that.
But I guess that's the breaks, and if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. You know, just live with it.
Yep.
So, how many people did you actually have at your pre-release in the end?
8.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
Cool.
Solid tournament.
Well, we had 8, but a few other people would have joined, but due to other issues, they couldn't make it. So
Yeah,
Well, that's
fair
unfortunate, but
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
At least you got a reasonably decent number.
yeah.
I guess, Josh, how did you find it?
Yeah,
We've been
Card
ignoring
Shark.
you this whole time.
Okay, before I say anything else,
Oh dear.
Rarity
Oh.
and Pinkie Pie can go and die in
Oh.
a hole.
I had that pulled on me.
Seriously.
That is
Yeah.
terrible.
Hey, don't hate
I
on my
got it.
girls.
I got a Pinkie Pie. I was trying to take down at 29 power.
Oh. I'm wow.
Someone got those to 25, but not
I got
29.
No,
Wow.
it was 20. It was 20. I was on the receiving end of that.
No, you actually had a
Something
second
like
price
that.
there.
I was up Pinkie Pie, and my opponent managed to get it up to 7 power, and I only had 3. The problem was like, well, you know, I better try and take it down now before it gets any bigger. I flipped a 7, he flips a 1. We couldn't stop laughing for the next 5 minutes. It was great.
Wow.
But yeah, other than Pinkie Pie and Rarity,
We're
I
talking about
really
the
enjoyed
troublemakers here, just so people.
Yeah, the
are clarified.
troublemakers.
Yeah.
Troublemaker Rarity, yeah. She's amazing.
Chaos. It's gonna take a bit of time to get used to that. There was a couple of times I'm like, oh, whoops, I forgot to do that, lol. Or
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, which again is just something you'll learn with. Well, we'll all learn with time and playing with the cards. From a standpoint of some of the beginners or the novice players we had in our pre-releases, I still get the feeling that 6 cards packs is just not enough to make a deck. It's just not enough. I mean, from someone who's used to making decks or doing these pre-releases like myself, Card Shark. That's why I'm talking myself in the third person.
Myself, Card Shark, and
I.
Like
I-
a sir.
I'm the first person. You're the second person. Earlier today, I was in the third person. Is that what I'm hearing? So yes, Card Shark. What were your final thoughts on today's pre-releases?
Okay, my thoughts. The booster pack needs to go up from 6 to 8. And a bit more information for those people attending in terms of what they should be bringing if they're not new to the game, in terms of problems and mains you can and can't use. Other than that, I love the chaos mechanics. I love the new cards. I've got a soft spot for the new Big Mac Critter. I can't get enough of that. It's so good. But yeah, again, I'm very, very surprised at the lack of ultra rares. I mean, that's one of the things that I find it draws me into. And if it's not there, well, it's kind of a bummer, but it's not going to stop me from going to pre-releases in the future.
Yeah, we'll see how they deal with that. I mean, maybe it's just an issue with production, or maybe it's just how it is. Maybe we just got unlucky. You never know.
That's
So
true.
that's one thing I did enjoy about the Candlelight Night pre-release is the fact that we had, I think it was 3 boosters and a starter deck. So even if we didn't get anything useful so much in the boosters, we at least had a starter deck base there that we could build upon. So we weren't all floundering about. I mean, admittedly it made our decks a bit more generic and a bit more cookie cutter, but it gave us a bit more flexibility there to make a constructive deck out of it. So it'd be fine if we were guaranteed X amount in each sort of pack, or even if they had like okay, this is the color of your choice. Here's a starter pink pack, for example, and it's got a pink base in it that you can, add more cards into. But as it stands, it's very difficult, in particular for newer players, just to waltz in and start playing.
Yep, I totally agree.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, it would make it a little bit more consistent as well. Like everyone gets at least something more or less useful out of it, and they're all assured to have something by the end of it that they can take away and play with and whatever else, rather than just this random cobble-mobble of cards.
That's right. Which they still need to buy a starter deck for to build on anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the next question we have, which will be the final question for the night, actually comes from Garuda Phoenix. He submitted it on our Reddit post on the MLP CCG subreddit. So thank you very much for your input. It is very much appreciative. And please continue to give your input in the future, whether you like this, dislike this, so on and so forth. Anyhow,
Seriously, please subscribe.
what is the most cost-effective way to assemble a competitive deck from a purchasing standpoint? Is it by buying booster boxes, being selective with singles, purchasing, people going out of the game and just grabbing their collections? I'll start with you, Summerfree. What do you think?
Well, the singles market is probably the cheapest way. Well, in my opinion, I find that if you do singles though, it's for me. I like supporting my general store, so I like to buy a few boxes and see what I get. Then I'll buy the singles to get the ones I'm missing.
So you basically buy a few boxes to start with, work out the singles you're missing, and supplement it through that way.
So that is what I do. It's definitely not the most cost-effective way. Again, I'm just supporting my local store. Singles is definitely the cheapest way to get what you want.
Would you consider this for ultra rares, fixed cards, and that sort of thing? Or would you just do it particularly for the ultra rares that you're chasing for your particular decks?
URs, mostly. Rares, some people like to hold on to, like cards like Cloud Chaser, and I'm assuming for the next set, Bag of Leaflets is a very good card.
Yep.
So people tend not to part with these, so buying the singles is a lot easier than trading with them.
Okay. What about you, Card Shark?
Well, when a new set comes out, I find it's really, really handy to buy a box or two. That way you're getting a wide variety, whether it's commons, uncommons, rares, ultra rares, etc. From there, when you know what you're looking for, I honestly believe singles is the way to go. Now, granted, from an Australian perspective, I'm playing sometimes maybe double of what you can get just from a strange rate and shipping alone. But if they're cards you want, you generally outweigh the extra cost on the amount you're buying. So if you're buying a lot less cards, get what you want, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you, Torrentales?
Basically, I'm with Card Shark and Summerfree. It's a good idea to go out and get a box, maybe a two to start with. That way you bulk out your commons and your uncommons and a lot of the rares and a handful of ultra rares. Then after that, you just start hunting around for singles because that's definitely the most cost-effective way. Considering how many ultra rares there are in each set, buying a box just to get those ultra rares is not cost-effective in any way, shape, or form. So it depends on what you need. If you're needing a lot of cards, then yeah, buy a box. You'll probably pull a lot of them. If you are just needing one or two cards, singles is the way to go. Don't keep trying to pull packs. Obviously, support your LSG. That's how they make their money, and by making their money, they support you in turn. So, circle of life goes on.
It's a circle of card games.
And finally, split second.
I've actually received this question so many times it's almost not funny.
But it is funny. We are laughing at you.
Yeah, this is a question that everyone asks. I agree with all of you, first off. If you know what kind of deck you want to make and what singles you want, buying singles is the best way. Other than that, I'd have to say that probably the trial deck and booster packs are the best way to go. Booster packs have that random element that are nice, and if you're not 100% sure what you're doing, and even if you are, even buying the trial decks have a number of key cards that you can use in any deck. That said, I know if you're looking for the cheapest option, or one of the cheapest options, then I would recommend splitting a box. So you grabbing a couple of mates, deciding before, pulling your money together, and deciding before what colors or what particular cards you want. Then you throw your money at the cash register and take your box, and then you all sort of divvy it up between everyone. That generally I find is the most cost-effective way, because that way everyone gets what they want, and at the same time they're not out of pocket by 150 or however much they sell for it in other places.
Yeah.
So just on that, let's say for example you and I decide to split a box. You're primarily an orange player and I'm primarily a yellow player. Do we designate it that way so that all the orange stuff goes to you, all the yellow stuff goes to me, and everything else we split down the line, or how does that work?
Well, it actually varies from person to person. The way I personally like to do it, Tio and I, Summerfree and I have actually done it a couple of times, and what we've done is we've said, okay, I'm after blue, you want orange, okay? So all blue go to me, and all orange go to you. It doesn't matter if all the ultra rares in the box are orange; they all go to you regardless.
Okay.
Because
And that evens out between the two of you over time, or?
Me and Splits are, close enough when we trust enough to when it comes down to, let's say a lot of ultra rares went to his colors or something, then we can work it out when we negotiate, me getting something extra to equal it out or something.
Okay.
And vice versa. Yeah. So we're very good friends. We can actually split a box. We're not, ripping each other's necks apart.
Yeah.
Disembowelment is not fun.
Yeah, what I've generally found is if you buy a box, it's nice to set up the terms before you open it, because if you start negotiating after, it just turns into a giant mess and people start not being friends anymore.
Right. So just to wrap that up, we've got Summerfree who said buy some boxes and then go for singles primarily. We've got Cardshark who also said buy some boxes and get some singles primarily. Then we had Torrentails who said buy some boxes and get some singles primarily. And then we have Cardshark who said find a friend.
I didn't say that.
Split second.
Shut up. Don't judge me.
Go down, Phil. We can't take you anywhere.
So split second's advice is to find a friend.
Find a friend and share.
And share.
It's kind of what
is magic.
Yeah, it's kind of what Cardshark and I sort of do. I mean, we get our boxes and we open them individually and we keep whatever we want out of them. But anything else basically goes into a big pool. Like we have a big box of commons and uncommons that we have, and even rares we just share amongst ourselves. And that works out fine for us.
Yeah, and sharing actually is caring, because...
Exactly.
Because you got to share.
Yeah.
And you got to care.
Spirit of friendship right there, guys.
I'm starting off after that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to end.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that's what me and Cardshark and one other friend we have. We all just put them all together and go from there, and we just share our cards like that. It makes it much easier to get what you need, and you don't have to worry about, chasing down singles of, maybe an uncommon that you only got 2 of or something like that.
And it keeps prices low, or at least costs low, which is really what you want.
We help each other out getting some of the other cards that we need to get, like some of the ultra rares or things like that. If I managed to pull one and he didn't, but I'm not using it, or let him borrow it, or or trade for it or something like that. It makes it nice and easy.
Yeah, it honestly does.
Well, what I've been doing now is let's say I get a card that Splits needs. It's like, oh, all right, Splits, you can have it. It's not really like like for trade fodder down the track or something, like if I need something off him that he's not not needing, he would just give back to me.
You owe me a favor.
It's not like a owe me a favor. It's like it's what I'm looking for. It's one of those friendship type things. Like, I'm helping you out.
Yeah,
you will help me out eventually.
I'll scratch your back. You scratch mine.
Yeah.
Like I'm investing
in a friendly way.
Trade. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like that. Yeah.
It's like you're paying for a future a card that you might
that I might need down the track.
Yeah.
No.
But again, we've known each other for a while, and we can actually do these things with each other. So, but if it's someone who you don't know, I don't recommend it.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously make sure you have someone you trust that is willing to do that with you. So pick your friends carefully, but it is about friendship. So, make your best judgment. I guess that's what we're trying to say.
Yes.
Phil, we didn't ask you, Phil. What do you recommend?
Yes, what do you think?
Yeah,
Me, I'm the worst person to ask for this because
buy everything.
I basically get a case of every set,
Yeah.
irrespective of what's going on. Which Crystal Games, it didn't pan out well. For Candlelight Nights, it panned out really well. So it's just one of those things. Yeah.
Make it rain.
Yeah, so I imagine this one is going to work out really well. So, but the biggest thing is I've now got 4 decks to support, whereas you guys just have the one. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably the big difference there.
That's true.
So for the odd URs that I need, I just trade for them for the most part, but I've got a huge enough buffer that I can afford to do that. So normally I've got so many duplicate URs, it's just not funny.
That's fair enough.
But I'm a big contender for supporting local gaming stores if possible.
Yes.
But I'm also a player, so I understand that whilst it would be nice that you buy a box, if you can't afford a box or you've got enough of the cards from it already that you're just going to trade it, then honestly, just trade it.
Yeah.
It's so much more efficient and you know exactly what you're going to get.
And sometimes, well, I know our community is generous enough to, if you're a new player, we just start throwing uncommons and rares at you.
Oh
Yeah.
We do that too.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the thing, is that we've got such a surplus, in particular, of the older sets, that helping out a new player or even opening up prize packs going, there's nothing in this pack for me, for example, and just handing it off to them, it doesn't really make that much of an impact.
Yeah.
And it makes it more inviting for them, so they want to come back as well, which is obviously a big important point.
It's what we aim for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please come back. We do miss you.
Love you.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
friend.
Come
Alright.
and play with
Seriously,
me
please subscribe.
forever and ever and ever.
Okay, I'm creeped out enough. I'm gonna end it there.
Step out of Creepy.
So, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining in. So, once again, we have Card Shark,
Hello.
Torrent Tales,
Goodbye.
Summer Free,
Good night.
and the magnificent Split Second.
Why, thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here.
I am, of course, Funky Phil,
Wow.
signing off on this podcast. And to Big Al, who has to edit this schmozzle, I just say, bad luck.
Good luck.
Let the chaos begin.
So thank you all for listening. Visit our supporters' websites in the comments below. We'll also include some other bits and pieces. We'll probably even do an outtakes reel based on this one. And you never know, if we get enough likes to this, you may hear a crazy man talking in an elevator.
Oh, yes.
yes,
We've got
please.
that on hold.
Please like, subscribe, whatever.
So keep looking out for our posts on the Reddit. Keep checking out our YouTube channels. Do you want to plug your channel while you're here, Split Second?
Certainly, I don't think I do that enough, but I run a channel called Friendship is Cardgames, so please go and check that out.
Of course,
And-
we'll link that down in the description as well, so and probably in an annotation somewhere, so take a peek.
Yep.
Please go subscribe over there too.
Yeah.
So support the other channels that support us, support our supporters who support us.
Don't
And-
support yourself, support us who supports you.
I was waiting for that.
If you have any feedback, comments, hit us up on either Reddit or on the YouTube link that you're watching or listening to at the moment.
Twitter.
And we're also now on Facebook and Twitter. That will put the links in the description. Again, I am Funky Phil. Thank you on behalf of all the panelists who have joined us tonight. And from all of us, have a good one.